Okay, hi.
Hi.
This is Brianna Parks. And Brianna, you have an excellent story to tell. The story we're telling today, though, is for Medicare, because we want to show Medicare how we have saved the system lots of money.
Yeah.
And so if you don't mind, if you could start from the beginning and tell, I'll kind of review you too. You remember it more than me about, I think, the COPDs. Where you
should we start from when I first was diagnosed with DVT?
Yeah.
Okay, in 2000, my right leg had swollen up on the hip about 56 inches and turned black.
Wow.
And I was unable to walk. I went into the hospital, which was in Minnesota, and there they had found an 11-inch blood clot in my right leg, reaching from here all the way up into my groin. They put me in the hospital. I was in the hospital 9 weeks because it was so chronic. They thought they were going to have to take my leg off. Well, they got that all cleared up, and in 2001 I came down with another clot. I ended up in there for about 8 weeks again because it had started affecting my heart. And then in 2003, I came down with another one. Actually, I came down with a pulmonary, which I ended up with 9 clots in my right lung, which almost killed me.
Okay.
And then in 2004, I had moved from Minnesota to Michigan, and I had to go back to Minnesota to pick up a few more things, and I got sick there before I got back and ended up back in the hospital with another clot. They kept me for 1 week. I got back to Michigan and came down with another one within 2 weeks. I ended up in the hospital here for a week. Well, after that, they put me on Lovenox and warfarin. Well, they changed my warfarin. And then in 2005, I was doing a lot better, but I was having a lot of back problems and breathing problems because I came down with COPD from smoking for 33 years. And I had been quit since 2001. And then I met Dr. Cribbs. And I was crippled up. I was hurting. I was scheduled for back surgery. 2 weeks after I had met Dr. Cribbs, and I started coming to Dr. Cribbs twice a week.
This was your lower back?
Yes, my lower back. And within 2 treatments, my lower back was feeling so much better. And my breathing was so good. Because I was on oxygen 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I also had to use a nebulizer for my albuterol for my lungs, for my COPD,
Right.
which now I don't even use.
Okay. And the oxygen you pretty
Oxygen
much
I use only at night.
But you pretty much laid it down from the 3rd or 4th visit, I believe.
Yeah, pretty well.
All right.
I still use it once in a while. I get a little winded sometimes, but that's the COPD. And
But it is much better. Your
oh
COPD.
gosh, oh yeah, it's very, very better.
All right.
Yes.
Now, when you come in here each time, you have to come quite frequently because your spine was out of place bad, very
Well,
bad.
I have a ruptured L5.
Well, we're not talking about that. So I'm talking about your neck being the cause of, of your low back pain and your COPD. Really,
well,
there's a big effect from your neck to the lungs and your neck
the
to
neck relieves L5. The pain
time.
from L5, L4, L3.
Every time we do your neck.
And my legs, the swelling goes down. This is my leg. I have what do you call it? Cellulitis in it, and it's tissue damage, And this is from the blood clots and from getting a high fever in 2003.
But in looking at that leg right now, it's like way better than when you started.
This is good.
This is good today.
When I first came, my leg was purplish black.
And half again as big as this.
Yes, because
Right.
look, the difference.
Still a big difference, right? All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
But it's
big
getting
difference.
better. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
all right.
If it wasn't for Dr. Cribs, I probably would have lost my leg.
Well, that's possible. All right, let's go back to the lower back. Each time we do your neck,
The pain subsides.
I mean, it's instant release in your lumbar
Yes,
area.
within 5 minutes.
Even less. You can be lying on the table, and it's gone. Right after adjustment.
Yes.
So, okay, this is something that we need to report to Medicare, because Medicare wonders, why do you need to have an adjustment every couple of days, really every 3 or 4 days?
Well, and a lot of it, I also got in a really bad car wreck, and I got crushed by a horse when I was younger.
And your neck
And
is definitely
it destroyed my neck.
it's definitely bad. It's one of the worst
Yes.
necks that I see and hear.
I had really bad whiplash, really bad, and I can just move my neck and it snaps.
Well, the point
And
that I
so-
want to make for the Medicare, is that I want them to know that if I keep your neck in place, even if it's twice
I
a week,
feel 100% better.
you can live, and you can stay out of the hospital, and you can stay out of big infections. It's saved them the money for the oxygen, some.
Yeah, they still charge me for all the tanks and stuff I
But
have.
staying out of the hospital is a big.
Oh yeah, because that runs thousands
Right,
and
that's right.
thousands of dollars.
So eventually we have as a goal that your neck will stay in place longer, and we see it's getting better. You're much better now than you were a year ago.
Yeah.
And is there any more we can add now? That's basically your story. It's a good story. It's unusual. We don't like to have to do you twice a week, although I like seeing you.
Twice a week.
It's,
Sometimes it's unavailable. Avoidable.
But if I did not work on it, you would be back in pain in your lower back, and very quickly, well, you have headaches too,
Oh yeah, severe headaches. Yes.
and they leave almost as instantly as the low back, don't they?
Yes, they do.
All right, and so if I did not adjust it that second time during the week, you'd suffer for the 7 days until you finally got back in here.
Yeah, and I've come in here twice in one day because I hurt so bad.
You have had to do that. That's right. All
Or
right.
back to back, like one day and then come back and the next day.
Well, not very often, but you do have to once in a while. But I'm
Yes.
looking to where that will stay for a month at a time, and I still believe we can do that.
Well, with as bad as my neck is, it's gonna take some time.
Well, it has, but I wanted to.
But
get
it's a
this,
lot. It's a whole lot better than it was.
Well, I wanted this for Medicare, so we'll share this with some other people, and who knows, it may help somebody else.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. Thanks for the interview.
You betcha.